And Captain, if you can give us your log, please.
Captain's log, Stardate 55085.8. We've been following a convoy in the Tholian Assembly for a short amount of time, and very suddenly this convoy has been put upon by an Akira Class. Its transponder identifies it as the ISS Vengeance, which suggests that it is not native to the universe. Knowing that the Tholians sometimes get themselves mixed up in alterations of time and space, it's not unlikely that they have brought this upon themselves. I intend to look further into the matter to discover what the Tholians are doing that could be causing ships from outside of our time, space, or reality from attacking them. In Captain's log.
And we start our episode tonight. On the bridge. Generally a good place to start. As the Tholians imps have shooken off the random attack from the ISS as Vengeance and has continued on to apparently its next waypoint. They've been underway for three to 4 days now, with no sign of stopping. There has been some communications between them and their forward base. If you would like to intercept them and read them, that could be a role. If you would like to do more research on the mirror universe, or we can start on that, or if there's any side projects you would like to get involved in.
Yeah, I would like someone to get started on the interception, and I would also like to, I guess, do research on the mirror universe. I don't know if that's a science or an engineering role, though, so I don't know.
For interception and of comms, that's an engineering role. So, Site plus engineering. So we're looking at insight engineering, difficulty 2, complication 2, for fear of them being able to read your attempts to read their message, and assisted by communication security. So, Maddox, if you would like to start us off tonight to try to get some of those communications.
Aye.
All right. Through the ingenuity of the Oh, I forgot to push button. Okay. Solve that. Through the ingenuity of the ship and yourself, you managed to get some communications. Those will be sent to your console momentarily. If I can spell. Alright, the message sent to your console. Feel free to read that out. And it's basically just variations of that at 2 different locations.
Having trouble?
You okay? Hello?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
what I was starting to wonder. I can't hear. Wasn't hearing anybody.
Yeah, same here. I was completely dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can hear all of y'all.
Okay, that's good.
Captain, I have pulled out a message that says attack by intruder vessel delayed 7.35 hours, attempting to make rendezvous in Malchus system.
How far are we from the Malchus system?
I'm going to assume you're asking if we can hear you. The answer is no.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay, the settings reset on me. Okay. As far as the distance from the Malchus system, you don't know because that refers to a Tholian system, and the Tholians haven't exactly shared their star charts with you. Apparently, sharing star charts is a very intimate thing, and you don't do that willy-nilly.
Ensign Archer, based off their heading, their speed, and their estimated time, can you find an estimated system or area of systems that they could be headed to? Because they gave us everything we need to know where it is.
Yeah, I suppose you could if figure that out based on bearing and the idea of a rendezvous. Insight plus assisted by computers con and kind of working on incomplete information. So Insight Con assisted by Computers Con on difficulty 3.
I would like to use Spirit of Discovery, and I will buy a third dice.
All right. Using that at a bit earlier today, but there's 2 momentum on the table, and you have 3 dice.
Also, would astro navigation work as a focus?
Absolutely.
That complication stands unless we want to quash it.
What was the difficulty, GM?
It was difficulty 3.
So we only need one more success. If I gave you a point of determination, could you use it on? Do you have a value that would work? Because this roll could kind of change what we do for the whole episode. Because if we can't figure out where it is, we have to follow them basically.
Let's see.
GM, would nothing can hold me down work as a value with that determination?
Could you talk me into it? How would nothing hold you down and work on trying to find out the course or some
We can't find our destination, so thus, in some way, we are being held down from completing our task at hand.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Sure, he can have my determination then.
All right, you have a determination in Archer, and you're spending it on nothing can hold you down. You can reroll as many dice as you like. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gain 2 momentum. And indeed, through some calculations and based on their bearing, and since you've been following them for a while, you kind of have a greater idea of exactly where they're heading. There is a star system that's about 2 light years ahead that they seem to be heading towards. Which at your present speed, you can get there within 8 hours.
That's like if we continue following them, because that's the speed they're going at.
Yep. You could jump ahead if you would like. Because they're currently going like warp 5. But if you were to go to your max speed, you could get there in a couple hours. I believe. Should have a calculator out.
It's probably much faster in a couple hours. Probably less than 1.
Mm-hmm. Speed calculator. There we go. Because your max speed is... .8. Oh, actually, light years are way ahead. Yeah, at your max speed, it will take you 12 hours. At the Convoy's max speed, they're still like 3.5 days away at max speed, but you could get there in 12 hours, as if you outpace them.
Yes, Ensign Archer set course for the target system and take us there at maximum cruise. So that's not quite our fastest, but
Mhm.
closer.
Yeah, I calculated off your max cruise, not your emergency max. If you want to use your emergency max, you can get there really quickly. But then fun things happen with engines overheating and such. All right. All right, to plot out a course and get you underway. Reason con difficulty 2 complication. Actually, it would be reason, it'd be control, because you're actually going to warp. The control con difficulty 2 complication 2. You're assisted by engines con, because you're still kind of a ways out, and you're trying to get a vector where you can get ahead of the convoy without crashing into them or potentially setting off their sensor net. And there is 4 momentum on the table. Hello?
I will spend 1 momentum to buy a third dice.
There we go. We're all just having trouble with Discord today, aren't we? Alright, 1 momentum for third dice. And the ship assist. Come on, complication. Come on, complication. Oh. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 momentum. You have 1 float. Did you want to create an advantage or do anything with that float?
Can we create an advantage to say we kept a sensor lock on the convoy?
Okay, to kind of keep monitoring them when they arrive. Yeah, I can allow that. As Archer does his calculations. And the ship jumps off to warp. You now have 8 hours or about 1 shift until you reach that system. And Captain, you wanted to do some research on the mirror universe.
Yeah.
And assisted by not exactly top secret, so reason in command, assisted by computers command, difficulty 3. this isn't exactly top secret, but there's not a lot of confirmed information, so there's a bunch of conjecture you have to sort through.
1 threat and 2 momentum.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Yes, same roll. And gain a momentum. Basically, what we do know about the mirror universe is they exist. They're a very hostile, and I'm not quite sure if xenophobic's the right word, but they're definitely haughty and think humans are superior. They're a really big thing in the 23rd century, but in the recent incursion in the 24th century with Cisco and crew, we found that the Terran Empire has collapsed, and the new rulers in the Mirror Universe, or Alpha Quadrant, is the Cleon Cardassian Alliance.
Which would not fit with a very powerful warship that obviously has Federation and Starfleet design influence.
Would we know
But the
about?
Klingons would build an Akira class.
Would we know about Quark's second adventure in the Mirror Universe with the Mirror Universe Dax? Well, Ezri.
Yes, we would. That has been cataloged as well.
Okay, so we would know that the leader of the alliance was captured by the Terran remnant. Chairman Worf.
But our only encounter with the Terran and his only encounter, their only encounter with the Terrans at that point was with Smiley O'Brien,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yes.
was gave indications of more of a rebel movement that was not really focused on conquest or empire, which also wouldn't fit with why there was an Akira class. Like, we designed Akira class as warships. They're one of 2 or 3 designs that Starfleet has ever built that were pure warships.
And
So
the Terrans are using one of them.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, so I really doubt it's one of our Akiras. It's probably one of their Akiras.
Yeah. Well,
But why they have an Akira, we don't. It doesn't make sense yet why they would have one. There's something we're missing. Because all we know about is Smiley, and we don't. We know why Smiley needed the Defiant, but why
yeah.
did his people get the ability to re-engineer an Akira and get the resources to build it?
I know. Like I was saying, is the last time we've heard of Smiley is that his uh is he captured Worf, the leader of the
Yeah, but
of the
if the Nausicaans captured the president of the Federation, they wouldn't suddenly be a restored empire or anything like that. They would. I mean, they'd have some leverage or something, but it's really hard to turn that one capture into a huge empire. So there's something we don't know about what's going on.
well, I mean, there's still the possibility is the first thing they made was just this ship.
Yeah, but they would have had to they would have had the time and resources to develop such a thing, which took Starfleet a while to do on its own without being a ragtag group of rebels.
Yeah, let's stop trying to figure temporal stuff, because temporal stuff doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't think time is a thing here. It's just alternate universe. Yeah, I don't really think there's any momentum spins I can do there to get more information. I think that, what we know in the TV shows is what we know, so. Yep, I think that'll be it. All I'll do before we get there.
But yeah, you caught on to the gist of it, that something is not squared away with the timeline, because not like 6 years ago, the Terran Empire was in ruins and all the Terran people, no, were in chains. And to go from that to suddenly building their own Akira Class warships is kind of unusual. Was there something that anyone else wanted to touch on? Okay. With that, we'll move to a new scene of you arriving in the star system.
There's already a different convoy there.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yep. There's already a couple ships hanging out there, and there's 3 planets. It's in the system, 1 star. That's on the wrong level. And if you would like to know more, or you can give me a sensor sweep.
Yeah, Mr. Tolik, if you would please survey the system.
Very good, Captain.
And I want to give this.
What am I rolling for the sensor suite?
Reason science would be difficulty 1, complication 2, based on you trying to get a sensor sweep without alerting the patrol. Assisted by ship's sensors or science.
Let's see. Talent, computer expertise, dedicated focus, astrophysics.
Dedicated focus would work. Techno expertise works with computers and sensors. I should know this. Yeah, technical expertise will give you a reroll, including the ship's sensors.
Okay, we'll go that route.
Alright, did you want to buy any additional dice? There's 3
Yeah,
momentum.
I'll buy one more dice for a momentum.
Okay. Could possibly earn some more.
So that puts three dice I'm rolling here.
Yep, and complication range is set to 2.
Okay. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay. As you gain 3 momentum. The third planet, it is a large rocky world, about twice the size of Earth. It's considered a super Earth, and it has a methane and cycle. So it's at the right temperature and pressure that methane goes from solid snow, liquid, gas, and it cycles around the planet. Also, some signs of some primitive methane and based life forms developing on the oceans. The second world is smaller, about Mars size, eyes ruddy, red, and with salt deposits. It's on it. Possibly this world had great salty oceans before, but the atmosphere boiled away, and so did the oceans, leaving behind this weird crystalline snowball look. The first planet is hot Jupiter, Jupiter Earth-sized planet, lots of moons and stuff around it, and it's in an orbital period that takes around the sun every 2 months. And somehow this thing's still around. No artificial structures are detected on any of the planets. There's a few artificial satellites around the first planet, and the star is kind of odd. There's some question marks being thrown up, but it appears to be an M-class star. But there's some weird variables that are confusing your computers. As for the Tholians, they're kind of in a holding pattern, and right next to them appears to be the debris of 2 other Tholian vessels. Would you like to ask any additional questions?
I can think of none.
All right. There's her situation. The Tholians do not appear to be aware of your presence.
Does this star system have any signs of usefulness? Like, I assume since we didn't see it on the scanners, there's no planets here. There's not a Y class here, is there?
There is not a Y class here. You have I forgot which. Yeah, there's no Y class. There's a Jupiter class, as a snowball, and a methane, an atmosphere one.
And nothing in any of those suggested that there was some sentient servitor race living on that planet.
Not from what you can see. On the methane aim planet, they just found cytoplasm, or no, they just found chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the big hot commodity in evolution. Although it's a different type of chlorophyll, It's not green, and it's actually in more of a blue. It might be based on. Oh, but we're getting distracted.
And the star, does it have any, in its current stage, does it have any particular uses to civilizations as developed as us? Obviously, I don't really care if it has uses for super advanced civilizations, but
Not really. There are some artificial satellites it's around the Jupiter class. But this appears to just be like a standard drop-off point.
there's. What do you mean? Like, that's where you'd go to drop something to the surface? Well, it doesn't have a surface, but into the atmosphere?
No. No, it's that the Tholians kind of use this as a crossroads of we're gonna have convoys meet up here at this system, and they'll move on to another central point. Otherwise, there's no strategic value here, as far as you can see.
All right. Commander Calder, give me 5 possibilities on the most efficient attack pattern on the current group of ships. And then coordinate with Mr. Tolik to scan those regions of space for possibly cloaked vessels or disturbances.
Interesting. Yeah, let's do insight. Alright, plus security. Diff 4. Stood. So we're going to do Insight Security, difficulty 4, assisted by Computer Security, as I'm assuming you're just going to be running these through the computer, Calder?
Yeah. I will spend a momentum for a third dice. Did you hear me?
Yep. And then
Okay.
Tolik can assist with this roll with Insight Science. 1 momentum for a third dice on Calder.
What am I rolling here?
Insight Science, 1 dice. Nice to assist is Calder with trying to figure out where attack on the convoy could happen.
How do you achieve a reroll? Is that through values?
Talents.
I mean, we already passed.
Oh, all right. Well then, fine. Screw you.
No, you're good.
Well,
you were helpful. At least you weren't unhelpful and caused complication.
Yeah.
3,
Well,
4, 5. So we got 1. So with that, Calder has come up with a couple variations of strike plans, and some of them involve hiding in the Corona, which is silly but possible. Hiding in the magnetosphere of the Jupiter class, or even in the cloud layer. They could do a slingshot maneuver around here, or they could be hiding in the debris. There's a couple of key spots not to look at. But to sensor scan them all, especially at this range. 5. Yeah. You would have to get it closer to get a detailed scan and of those places. Otherwise, you're looking at a difficulty 7 in sensor science roll.
All right.
Ideally, you would want to be like right about here or here to kind of get all the spots that Calder pointed out.
Ensign Archer, go ahead and give us a plotted impulse course around the system to those points and engage.
Alright, this would be Control or Daring Con. I can't really see any reason to increase the difficulty on this. So Control or Daring Con, difficulty 1, assisted by ships, engines, and con. To get yourself a good orbital path, and this will also cost 1 power.
Is the difficulty from environmental conditions?
Tholians don't really count as an environmental condition. The difficulty comes from trying to avoid Tholian sensor ranges. Which, yeah. Well, you got 1 momentum off that. And where in particular on the map would you like to go? By the Salt Planet, by the Jovian.
Take us to the Jovian one, that way we always have the option to dip into the atmosphere if we feel like disappearing or being crushed accidentally.
Oh, what's the worst that can happen?
I'm pretty sure the crushing is the worst of it.
Alright. It is at this point that the doctor kind of casually informs you that he has a little bit of a flu going on. There's been 3 people from the sensor from sensor operations and that have reported in sick with some sort of stomach flu.
Yeah, I leave that into his capable hands.
Yeah, he's just informing you why he's not about. But now for the sensor roll, now that you're closer, this is a lot easier to get. Reason plus science, diff. Well, you are trying to look for a cloaked ship, and you're trying not to get it spotted. Sensors, science, Alright, so this is difficulty 4, complication 4, or just because of the proximity to the Tholians, try not to trip their sensors. But with your advanced sensor, or net, that brings you down to difficulty 3, and with this one roll, you will be able to scan all of those spots at once. So, Commander Nertolek.
Yes.
We're looking for Reason Science, difficulty 3, complication 4, or assisted by ship's sensor science. To see if there's anyone else hiding in cloak with you.
Reason science?
Yep.
Complication range 4?
Yes, because of the proximity to the Tholian vessels, there's a high risk of them picking up on your sensor scan and realizing that there's someone out there. So, any opportunities you have for rerolls, any extra dice you would like to purchase?
Yeah. 3 momentum for 2 extra dice.
Absolutely.
Dedicated focus astrophysics.
Okay.
What does spending values give you?
If you do it before the roll,
Yeah.
you can get plus 2 successes. You basically roll a dice and it automatically has a nat 1 on it. If you do it after the roll, you can use that to re-roll as many dice as you have.
All right.
Which you already have 1 re-roll because of technical expertise. So if you get any complications, you could possibly roll that away.
All right. I'll spend value. A theory for every situation.
I'll allow that. With that, because you spent at the value, that would also increase the cost of your 2 extra dice by 2 momentum.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Which you're gonna be getting all that back anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on a difficulty 3. Nope, not 12 players. Alright. You have 7 momentum, 1 float, and you can ask a bunch of questions about anything in this area. As far as the cloaked oak ships go, you don't find any tachyon signatures, no subspace disturbances, is nothing indicating that there has been or will be a cloaked ship around here. Or will be. Yeah, because you can scan ahead in the future. That makes sense. You are detecting some cloud movement underneath the surface of the clouds here. There's some intermittent baffling of the cloud systems, but nothing indeterminate. And your sensors are still giving you shifty-eyed looks at the star.
What is the likelihood that there could be a ship in the atmosphere of the planet below cloud level?
I'll take that as your science officer or question. That would definitely be a good
Yes.
place is to hide with the combination of the magnetosphere, and if you dive deep enough, like even 10 kilometers underneath the cloud out surface, is you would be completely obscured. If you dive a couple hundred kilometers beneath the surface, it'll be damn near impossible to find you. Granted, at that point, you're are becoming a real submarine, and you have to deal with if external pressures crushing you like a tin can. But as for now, you're not seeing anything indicative of a ship, but you are definitely seeing something akin to movement underneath the surface.
What is the surface made of? Like what's the composition of the planet?
Hydrogen, helium, some water. I forgot which element makes the brown color, but there's trace amounts of that element that makes it brown.
Is that methane?
Methane makes blue. Methane makes blue and green. Yeah, it's yield standard or gas giant. It is like 98% hydrogen and helium.
Would there be a non-lethal way to potentially light up whatever is below that cloud cover?
Define light up.
Next generation, when Data uses a low yield torpedo and the disrupted tachyon net to outline the Romulan warbirds trying to cross the border.
Invisible is what you mean, not shoot at them.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Okay. It's possible.
Sort of exploding the entire atmosphere.
I mean, it is basically a hydrogen and bag, so if you fire your phasers just the right way, you could ignite the entire atmosphere.
Maybe want to avoid that?
Something less extreme, photon torpedoes could be fired in and used as depth charges. They go down to a certain depth, they blow up, and you could possibly see sonar pings off them if there's any hard substances down there.
Would that be lethal?
No, that would just make a lot of noises, and cause ripples in the atmosphere. Do note that firing the torpedoes, you would have to decloak in order to use your weapons, and also doing any sort of atmospheric sonar or pinging would definitely cause some wary eight-legged people to look in that direction. You do have one float if you want to ask additional questions.
Yeah. Is it possible to enter that atmosphere under cloak and remain undetected?
First kilometer or sure. Any deeper than that, you have to have shields, or else you're gonna get ripped apart. Of course, there's always the option of going to the far side of the planet and dipping in there.
Well, I will feed all that to the captain. Leave it up to him.
Why again would we want to go to the to the other side?
If you wanted to dive into the atmosphere of the J-class gas planet, if you go to the dark side from the Tholians, you could slip in, drop your cloak, raise your shield, and get underneath the atmosphere before they notice.
Alright, Mr. Archer, make it so.
All right. Let's see. +1 trying to high, +1 diving in atmosphere. +1 because this is silly. Diff 3. Daring Con, difficulty 3, complication 2, assisted by engines con.
I will spend 1 momentum.
1 momentum is spent. Now's a good time for that. Oh no. Do you wish to quash?
Yes, I think we should.
Can I assist?
And Starship doesn't assist.
What would any of my focus work?
This is purely astronavigation or flight control.
Okay, so no focus. Unless you
Yeah.
Okay.
You swing around the planet. You try to make a pass, but you're kind of bounced off the atmosphere and you skip off. No structural damage, but you would have to stick around and make another pass, as that would be increased difficulty. Or we could try something else.
Try again one more time, just take it easy.
Yep, I figured that was a cautious con reroll. Alright, try again, and difficulty 4, complication 2.
Wait a minute, was the difficulty due to environmental conditions? Because if so, then it would be diff 2 and we would have made it.
Yes, actually, because as you're trying to dive into the atmosphere is kind of not letting you have it. So, with that, you do skip off the atmosphere. There's a little bit of squirreliness is with the reaction and thrusters, but then you increase your dive angle and plunge into the atmosphere. New scene. This is totally the inside of a planet. And the ship is up here. And I'm assuming as soon as you're underneath the surface, you raise your shields.
Yeah.
All right. And the Class 3 storms, that is... Nope, that's GM though. Player, I'm silly. Alright, so while you're within the atmosphere, you're in Class 3 storms, sensors can only resolve at long range or less. Engines and structure have increased its difficulty by 3. As this is a howling maelstrom, you're getting crosswinds and upwards of 1,000 kilometers an hour, and they're shearing in directions as you dive through layers. But with the shield up, you're managing to keep it together. As for... Yeah, and you can't really see anything beyond the outer edge of the circle. There's just way too much crosswind.
And Tolek at a general location for us to investigate?
Yep.
Let's set course for that.
Alright, as you're circling the planet. How deep do you wanna go? The deeper you go, the harder it is to sense you, but also increase risk is to the ship. So layer 1 is just on the outer edge. It's least damage to the ship, but easiest to detect, and layer 5 is hardest to detect, but most possibility of damage.
Well, no one knows to look for us, so let's stay at the highest level so far.
Okay. Staying at layer 1. As you circle around the planet. And this is very reminiscent of the motionless picture of just cloud swirls in front of you. In front of you, behind you, all around the side. It's very pretty at first. There's different colored bands, there's lightning and strikes, but after about 5 minutes, it starts getting hypnotically boring. And you find yourself less and less entranced by the screen and more just looking at your instruments and keeping bearing that way. And orbiting around the a planet, you're not going at full impulse, so it takes an hour or so. And when you get there, there's nothing in particular in this area, but you can definitely start a search pattern. And search pattern would be reason plus science. no complication in range. Alright, so to luck will lead this roll. Reason and Science, originally difficulty 4, brought down to difficulty 3 because of our sensors. Assisted by ship sensor science, and Archer can assist with a control con to get a nice even sweep of the area.
Momentum for a dice.
Alright.
Would computer expertise or the dedicated focus in astrophysics apply here?
Astrophysics would apply.
Okay. Alright. The dedicated focus in astrophysics.
Also, would my talent push the limits work?
What does push the limits do?
When you attempt a con task that has increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions or damage to the engines, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 1.
That would only
I don't know. That sounds pretty relevant.
yeah, but it sounds like that should be something you use on a main roll.
Yeah. What is the wording again? Does it say when? Does it say if you assist, or does it say when you roll?
It says when you attempt.
I think normally that's for main rolls. Normally, it says if it's an assist or not.
Ooh, earns.
Alright, so we have Archer and sensors and difficulty 3, 4, 5. So difference is 2 momentum. As you get to about the same spot you were before, according to your map, you're right underneath where the Tholians were. They're about a couple thousand kilometers above you, but you can't know for certain because your sensors just simply won't reach that far. But there's this definite tension of, okay, so Tholians are right there. They could possibly see us. And you see, floating in the clouds, jellyfish. These are ginormous jellyfish. They're slightly smaller than you, but not by much. They're equivalent of a scale 3, so about the size of the Hadfield. And they're just kind of idly drifting in and out of your vision. And as you swim about.
Is this what we thought the motion was?
You are unsure.
I guess let's look a little bit longer. I don't really have
For 1 momentum, I could let you stay for a little longer on the same aim sweep.
You mean?
For 1 momentum, you can use the success off your previous roll, and find something else on the same roll.
Sure.
Okay. And also down here, as soon as I find my tokens. Actually, a kind of far away, there is a Federation beacon and shown at a slightly deeper level.
Say that again.
There's some sort of Federation beacon in at one level deeper. So you're at level 1, and this would be at level 2. But it's just a passive ping, and I am here. I am Federation. I am here. I am Federation.
What's the? Is that? I mean, is that exactly what it says?
It's not even saying ain't that much. It is it's just a passive if navigation ping.
Let's take a look.
You're moving layers, so Alright, Daring Con difficulty 3 with push to live instead of bringing it down to difficulty 2, assisted by Engines Con to move down a level and towards this weird beacon. As Archer just crushes it, and the ship roll. Excellent. 2 momentum gained. As this is kind of a weird air combination of flying a kite and piloting a starship, but Archer, you've kind of gotten used to moving with the wind and kind of cutting and banking in yourself a certain way to go against it. You're kind of getting used to this. As you approach the beacon, this appears to be a gigantic scale 6 cube of sorts. Not a Bohr cube, but it's Federation in cargo containers arranged in a cube, and there's some sort of superstructure overlaid on top of it. If you would like more information, and we could do a sensor scan.
Go.
Reason plus psi. Everything's diff 3. Sure, let's do that. Reason science, difficulty 3, complication 3. Just trying to get the sensors to cut through all the noise of the atmosphere. Assisted by sensor science.
3. Complication 3.
We have 3 momentum on the table, and I'm always open for our threat.
There you are.
And
Astrophysics again?
this is not an astrophysics thing.
Computer expertise?
Surprisingly enough, I'll take a focus in survival.
Alright. Strange.
It'll be relevant.
Okay. What are we scanning for here?
There's a giant cube, about the size of a Galaxy Class starship, full of cargo, containers, and it is just plastered with Federation symbol, United Federation of Planets. It's UFP flag. It's playing the national anthem, and this is definitely one of ours.
Value. Emotion in a crisis only makes things worse.
You already spent a determination this episode. Determination spends only once per episode, unless you can pull from a milestone from a previous episode. Otherwise, you could buy extra dice.
By the time you explained what all that meant to me, I would just roll. I'll just spend the 3 momentum for 2 extra dice.
Okay. Do you get it? For 6. Yeah, 4 momentum on the table, and you do have a complication.
Can we quash that with momentum?
You can quash that for 2 momentum.
You can re-roll with technical expertise because you were assisted by sensors.
Yes, you can.
Cool.
So you can re-roll 1.
Is the complication range still 3 on the reroll?
Correct.
Okay.
And you gain 2 more momentum instead of a complication.
I'd say that's a pretty good trade.
And now you have a bunch of questions as you can ask, but this appears to be a supply eye drop of sorts. Or it's an automated system. There's a key code that you have to ask, but then you can basically shop for our spare hull plating, torpedoes, foodstuffs, rations. It's kind of like a starship vending machine that's keyed for our Starfleet vessels.
Could a starship be assembled from this dispenser?
I'll take that as a question, and no. Oh, it doesn't have any assembly parts with it. It just gives you the supply, so it assumes that there's someone there to receive the supplies and do with it what they need to. And also, there's some critical components that are not included in it. Yeah, like it doesn't have the specific struts for our warp nacelle or a complete saucer section, and it just has base parts that assumes that you can assemble that to fit your ship.
where does the composition of the cube appear to originate? Is it Tholian in nature? Is it Federation? Is it Terran in nature? Is it Klingon? Romulan?
Besides all the very obvious symbology on it, you do a detailed quantum scan, and it does appear to be from this universe and is in line with Federation in technology and building materials.
Can you scan the quantum signature of the materials?
I'll take that for momentum if you would like.
Yes.
Alright, one momentum down. Scan the quantum signature. The quantum signature does indeed match your universe.
So this is ours.
Correct. In fact, Captain, give me Insight Command difficulty 1.
Take a threat.
Okay. And 3 momentum, so you have a bunch of float. Indeed, this is kind of a known tactic. They did this a few times during the Dominion and War, where they would hide supply caches behind enemy lines, and they would hide them on planets, hide them deep in nebula, hide them in a gas giant like this, and just have it there just in case your ship's busted up and you need repair supplies. You can go to a supply depot in secret and attempt to make repairs there.
Who did this?
Starfleet did. It's
Well, I know that, but is this a calling card of a certain part of Starfleet, or just in general, starships did this when they had the time to do it?
In general, something like a Nebula class would fly by IS system and seed it, and note that in an encoded message and share that with the fleet of, hey, if you need supplies, here's a place to get them. Here's the access code. But it wasn't quite specific to any specific fleet. It was just kind of done for especially covert or behind the lines operations.
Well, this is kind of helpful for us in a way if we could get it open.
Kind of use it to get rid of the breach on your sensors.
We could, and we could investigate more inside of it if possible.
Is there? Do I know how to use an access code, and can I see if I have that code?
It would be. Yeah, there could possibly be an access code. Reason plus command. Reason command difficulty 2 assisted by computers. There's command.
Take a threat. Oh, same roll 2 times.
And the computer assist. against you, so +3. Indeed, after digging through the computers, you do find that access code. You have 3 float.
One to figure out which ship left this here.
It's not on record on the depot, but is that a ship name? That seems like a ship name. No, Kitty, stop walking on the keyboard.
You got one of those too, huh?
Yes. She's a little adorable brat.
Yep, mine is too.
USS Mary. It appears to have been left by the USS Merrimark. Nebula class. Is that how you spell it?
Are you trying for the Merrimack?
That might be what I'm trying for.
Merrimack is a U.S. warship.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That was one that was made into the Confederate ironclad CSS. Yeah. I guess another question is, when did they leave it and why did they leave it?
There you go. That's how you spell that name.
They left it in the year 3333.
No. Nope. That was
Okay.
a typo. Although I would not be surprised. It was left in 2376 in the Trenlock system, which is deep in Cardassian space.
So this is not supposed to be here.
No, it is not.
Is it possible to investigate to see if that record is falsified, or if I believe, do I believe it's more likely that that record is falsified, or more likely that this was stolen from the Trimlock system?
Insight Command or Security opposed. Assisted by Computer Security to scrutinize the record.
How much momentum do we have?
You have 8 right now, so you have 2 floats still.
And you account for all the questions I asked?
Oh, no. I keep forgetting to do that. That's 1 question, 2... Alright, so you have 6 float. Or 6 momentum.
Then I will buy 3 dice for 5 moments.
Alright.
6 moments.
And Calder or Maddox could help on this.
With the same Insight Command or with something else?
Inside command or security, or Maddox could do engineering if he wants to look into the actual base code.
Sure, Maddox, you can help me.
Captain?
And using 5 momentum?
Yeah.
Maddox, you can use insight engineering to check the actual zeros and 32s of the code, see if that's been messed with. And the ship can assist with computers command. Alright, come on, little buddies. You got this. You don't got this. That is 4 hits, 1 comp versus Alright, so you guys gain 2 momentum and off that as you thoroughly scrutinize the code, and their code was very sloppily made, and it looks like whoever did this was definitely not used with Federation computers. The complication is this was not an inside job. And indeed, the records have been falsified.
Can you say that again?
Indeed, the records have been falsified, and with the complication, that it was not an inside job just based on the way the coding is, as they're using very roundabout language, and the syntax is a bit off, knowing that they're not used to Federation codes.
1 momentum to figure out who did it, or a likely suspect.
Alright, 1 momentum down. Have you looked at a mirror lately? A mirror darkly.
So some mirror ship stole this from Cardassian space and brought it here?
Yes.
How would one even get resources off of here? Because we'd have to take this ship. Does it have a shuttle bay?
It does have a shuttle bay, and yeah, it does have a shuttle bay function in on top. And the idea is either automatic systems will just bring cargo to that, or in a pinch it can, and you can give it an order, it'll sort and organize it, and it will just eject an entire cargo pod towards you.
Well, we can't. So, yeah, I'm thinking because you can't really... You'd have to tow the cargo pod back up out of the system and then bring down shields to bring it on board. You couldn't... Yeah, sending a shuttle that has our frequencies so it can pass through our shields and then pass through the shields of the thing. That's the only way.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. Using the shuttle bay kind of seems to be the intended purpose, but in a pinch, if you're like, I am missing like whole swaths of hull here. I need like 200 tons of duranium. It can just sort that out and launch a cargo pod for you to pick up. And it is at this point that I'm gonna have to buy that dice for this. Maybe more dice.
Shooting at us. They're not doing a very good job of it, though.
No, they're not.
Jellyfish tried to attack us.
The jellyfish is suddenly burst and swarms with radiation, but your shields will attenuate most of that damage.
Yeah, Ensign Archer, if you could rotate us about the station so that we're on the opposite side from the jellyfish.
Yep. Alright. That'll cost 1 power.
Alright, Commander Tolik, Ensign Archer, Commander Calder, Commander Maddox with me in the transporter room. We're gonna go take a look at it.
Hi, Captain.
Aye, sir.
I'm not gonna bring any increased weaponry. Or, I'm not gonna bring anything other than standard equipment. Normal operation, since this had shuttle bay, it should have an atmosphere on board, right?
Yes it would. If not, you can just call ahead and say, hey, come get an atmosphere in here, and it will present one.
Or are the jellyfish coming after us? Because I thought just one drifted close to us. Is it like a thing we have to avoid now?
Oh, don't worry about that.
Famous last word.
Well, because if then I guess we're not going. We're staying here because now we gotta.
Indeed, the closer you get to the cargo pod, the more the jellyfish disappear. And one of you hit. Well, that's at least one hit and a complication, so... Oh, that is way too many. No, that's... Why is it rolling so many? Oh, because it's adding in scale. Okay. That's not what I wanted. I only wanted this many. As...
We take 1 to the shields.
Yep, 5 damage. Resistance brings down to 1 as your shields go down 1 pip. As suddenly all these jellyfishes are just bursting radiation. They swell up, go pop, and there's a radiation in wave.
Wait, they're killing themselves against?
No, they're not. They're not killing themselves. They're swelling up and causing an acute radiation burst.
Do you know about their biology?
You haven't scanned their biology yet.
I think from the looks, these aren't really that of living organisms. They could be the same thing as like cysts, just by looking at them.
I mean, they appear to be mobile and reacting to the environment somewhat, and they have some sort of defense mechanism.
All right, I will stay here and solve this problem while y'all go over.
Nerp, nerp, nerp.
I'm gonna use the deflector dish and fire intense pulses of radiation at them.
What kind of radiation?
Well, I'll start with gamma, and then we'll work through the spectrum.
Okay.
And in the meantime, they can take and go over there.
I mean, I think while you're doing that, I think Tolkien could still scan if possible.
Yeah, but I don't like. They're not doing enough damage to really bother us. Like, the chances of them doing a breach are super, super low. So I would rather y'all get
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, they're. If your shields were down, you might be worried, but since your shields are up, you could. Yeah, you saw the type of damage as they were able to do, which was not much.
Yeah, if my guess work out, I'll try to scan them. But I would rather y'all go over there and figure things out than worry about the jellyfish, because the jellyfish are not gonna. Figuring out about the jellyfish is not gonna help us in the larger picture.
And because because you're in the gas, the storm clouds. This is difficulty 3, but control or daring engineering assisted by structure engineering. Difficulty 3, complication 3.
Did starboard tactical system or shipboard tactical systems help here?
I'll allow it.
And threat into momentum. I forgot to set the comp, so there is a complication on that. But the difficulty was 3. I got 2 momentum. I'll spend those 2 to quash.
Yep, I see that. Alright, so we're balanced out. As you send out a powerful radiation beam. I'm assuming just like away from the ship in the station, right?
It was at the jellyfish.
Oh, just at them?
Yeah.
Okay. Gamma ray makes this one burst into Flosum.
If that worked, then I'm just gonna keep. Are they leaving?
No. Oh, they're still sticking around, but as you sweep down, and you get to a high UV range, and then they seem to be swarming for it. And they are. Yeah, they are just enjoying that at radiation. All right, who's all going on the away A team?
I believe I'm on that away team.
All right.
Yes. And I said transporter room. I meant shut because we can't go in the transporter room. My transporter.
You sure?
Like 1,000% sure.
But I mean, it'd be just quick in and out. You know, nothing bad could happen.
The station have its own shields.
It has like basic structural integrity shields, but it essentially has no shield, so firing on it would just instantly start causing breaches. Like mechanically speaking, it has no shields.
It has no shield bubble.
Yeah,
The shields
mechanically speaking, it has no shields.
Yeah. Okay.
But to transport, we would have to take it down our own shields.
Well, I was thinking if it had a shield bubble of its own, we could rely on its shields to shield us, but it doesn't have a shield bubble we could get inside of. So that wouldn't work.
Well, if we're worried of the chance of the radiation, well, why not just... we don't have any momentum left to grab some EVA suits.
Well, I don't think I'm not worried about it in that sense. It's just like we have to take a shuttle to their shuttle bay. If we could have transported, that would have been convenient, but we just need to take a shuttle. There's not really another option. I'm not really worried about the radiation. The shuttle has shields. We have shields. The station is shielded once we get inside of it.
Yeah, a thing like this would be able to withstand and radiation. That's kind of part of life support is, hey, let's make sure we don't die of all the cancers.
Yep, so I think I just take a type 7, I think, is the only one big enough to hold all of us.
Yep, so the Sojourner or the Traverse. Which the Sojourner is misspelled. Do I spell anything right?
Sojourner? Sojourner? What is
Yeah.
that? Sojourner. Okay, take that one. I like the sound of that.
Alright. As the big old type 7 and takes the away team over. Captain's staying with the ship and all the other players are going on.
Yeah.
I'm only staying on the ship if I'm still occupied by the jellyfish. I don't know if I'm still occupied with that.
Not really. The radiation seems to be doing good at keeping them at bay.
Yeah, then I'll go.
Alright. As everyone piles into the Sojourner and you take off. I'm assuming Archer has the con.
I think Archer on and Maddox at Ops is probably, or maybe Tolek at Ops is probably the way to go. Either one.
I thought I was on the away team.
Yeah. No, there's in the shuttle. There's always 2 consoles.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
There's a position for pilot and a position for ops. So ops is half engineering, half science. So either you or Maddox. It doesn't. I don't know if it matters.
I mean, my engineering isn't fantastic.
Maddox can take the ops chair.
Aye, sir.
I suppose if it became relevant, I could just assist you anyway. So.
Well, for a minor, he could step away for the comp. You could take
Yeah,
it.
for a minor, you can switch places if you need to.
Yeah.
Alright, to get the shuttle safely over, control con on difficulty 3, complication 3, assisted by shuttle's engine con.
And I guess normally it would also be a question of whether we let Calder as security officer take ops, but the Type 7 is unarmed, so that's not really a consideration this time. Does difficulty go down to 2 because this is environmental conditions?
Yes, it does. This goes down to 2 because as this is environmental conditions.
Take a threat.
Yay! I get threat. Oh no. That complication stands. Do you have anything else you can do to quash that?
Do you have a milestone you can use?
I'm sure you've done an episode of flying a shuttle.
I did in session 10 use a determination to avoid sensors to get down onto a planet in a shuttle.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing. I will allow that for the reroll. So burn 1 saved milestone.
And I roll how many?
As many as you like. Of your dice. Alright. So there's this hair-raising moment as you're in the shuttle bay, a door comes up, the force field's keeping the atmosphere out, you gently fly out of the shuttle bay, and suddenly the wind shear just whoosh, just rips you to the side, and you're tumbling end over, and you're fighting for control, but then suddenly you remember you remember your experience flying into the planet before. Atmospheric flight is kind of tricky, and you have to roll with the rolls instead of fighting against them using your thrusters. So calm yourself down, correct the shuttle, and you finally gain control of the shuttle, and you're able to guide it towards the landing bay of this cargo drop off. The bay easily accepts your access code. Oh, door opens up. You glide in. Door shuts. Everything repressurizes. Lights come on, and atmosphere air reads clear. And what would you like to do?
I would assume we would want to find a computer terminal and try to find out some data about what's been going on here.
Yeah, I will. I'll go with Maddox and look for a main control on thing. Mr. Tolek, if you take Ensign Archer and Commander Calder and start doing a search of the place. I want to know if there's any illegal weaponry here, or anything that would stand out as not being standard Federation tech. Look for quantum signatures if you need to.
All right. There's not a lot of actual like living space here. This appears to be mostly unmanned most of the time. In fact, there's some frost on the consoles that appear to be it appears they just turned on the atmospheric controls just for you like 5 minutes before you landed, and there's still frost on some screens. The gravity is a bit wonky. In fact, everyone get me a fitness contest difficulty E1.
This contest?
Yep.
Oh.
Because gravity's a little weird, and your inner ears are not having it.
Yeah, I assume you meant the discipline con in a test. I thought you were telling us a
fitness contest. Yes,
fitness contest.
Everyone start arm wrestling right now.
You weren't alone on that, Captain.
All right. Fitness is con on difficulty 1.
Endurance is a focus.
Endurance would work.
I'm gonna buy a dice with the arm.
Okay, I guess that's the thing.
I'm just holding on really strong to things.
Yep, that'll work.
I need to hold on really hard to Maddox. It doesn't float away.
Give me a sec. Let me roll my fitness and con.
Yeah, I think we have everybody's made it. I think except for
except for Maddox.
Still got 3 people who need to roll. Or 2.
Yeah. Calder and Tolek.
What are we rolling? Fitness con?
Yep. Difficulty 1. If you want to buy some extra dice, I'll gladly accept threat.
No.
Alright, generates. Alright, so that's 1. 3 momentum generated overall. As Archer, the captain, and Calder are kind of catch themselves and steady themselves, but Tolek and Maddox, the gravity fluctuates. It's weirdly, and it just makes you sick to your stomach, and you're extraordinarily disoriented and dizzy. Oof! Ouch! That is 5 stress. As you guys throw up and you take an injury from this.
That's a non-lethal injury.
That's a non-lethal injury. You actually, the gravity fluctuates so badly that you fall over and kind of conk your head or brace yourself on an arm and bruise it somewhat.
Hold on. There's something about Type 7 shuttles that may help us here. If I can get to the right page.
Huh, that was more effective than I thought. I didn't expect to roll that much.
Trying to find the page for Type 7 or for shuttles. I think Type 7 are the one that have the ability that you can roll, and it may have a piece of equipment that you want to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I gotta find the page.
I think it's in the command book.
No, all the shuttles are in the command book, but I think in the core book, the older shuttle, the main shuttle types are also there. It's also in the command book, I think.
Huh, I'm not finding type 7s.
In the command book?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a more standard one. I think they should be there. There's type 6. Yeah, type 7 is there. It's 70, page 70. Yeah, well supplied. Type shuttle is well supplied and contains many storage compartments. Characters may attempt to search the shuttle for parts or supplies by attempting an insight engineering task with a difficulty of 2. GM, I would like to look for a med kit to help out Maddox, because I assume is Tolek in a different place already, or is he still in the same place?
You're like relatively in the same place. He might be like one room apart, but the gravity shifts, and then you hear 2 thuds and groaning.
Tolek has the medicine, but I don't know that he's capable of doing the task to.
All right. Insight
Yeah,
engineering.
I think all the people who are available to do a medical task have medicine of one. So I'll still search on it for insight engineering for a med kit.
Yep, insight engineering div 2.
Take a moment.
I think this is the first time I've injured multiple characters in ground before.
So I assume that means I find it.
You do indeed find it. There's a standard medical kit.
So with this, I mean, I assume they're still in difficulty. I'm just not going to have any increased difficulty from not having tools.
Yeah, you do have the tools. Now, this would be.
There is a roll. If I can find it.
I'm debating between control or reason in medicine.
First aid is daring medicine difficulty 1.
Oh, that works too. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that's for someone with for who is down and out. That's for someone who's down.
Yeah, this is a daring situation. I mean, they're not down and out. They're just really, really sick. And
yeah.
Oh God, is that what you had for lunch?
I would think probably control medicine.
Control medicine makes more sense.
The difficulty?
1. And just hit it once, and you can repeat the dose on both of them.
Take momentum.
All right.
I rolled fitness engineering for that. Don't think that mattered, because my what was this with control?
Daring. Control medicine.
Oh no, it was insight engineering. I was double checking that I didn't accidentally miss the find task. I got an 11, but
yeah, 11's a high one.
My insight is 13, so I hit that.
Yeah, you'd be good.
Wait, so do I have to go something for a mind injury?
Well, to get the injury to go away, you do.
But now the captain is playing first aid and manages to get you guys some 24th century Dramamine with the hypospray to the neck, both Tolek and Maddox take a deep breath, and you're good. You're good. The floor is not rocking anymore. Everything's okay.
Maddox is cursing under his breath.
Commanders, I would take it easy for the moment. Short steps. Need to be anywhere anytime soon. And I'll continue walking with Maddox, and I will keep the medkit with me.
Yep. You still have the stress until the end of the scene, but you're not suffering any adverse effects from it, so no injury at this point. All right. Let's go with the control room people. So, control room is Doctor and Maddox. Not Doctor. Captain.
I mean, is that what I need to do now? We're just going to replace me and Dr. Bog with each other?
No.
Bog and Dr. Elder? I don't know that anyone on the ship wants a Dr. Elder.
I mean, with their medicine score, you leave a lot to be desired. Alright, so Captain Elder, Maddox, was someone else going to the control room, or was the other three going to be scanning the ship?
No, I mean, I was sending the other three out to scan the ship because they're the ones with the giant phaser cannon that has the tripod thing, so...
Yep.
Actually, the tripod isn't finished yet.
Okay. Well, it is a lot more than the Type 2 I have. They get to go to the front lines. I'm going with Maddox.
All right. You find a clearly labeled old control room. There is a single chair, a computer console, and surprisingly, there is a loo who set off to the side.
Maddox, if you wouldn't mind taking a look through the computers, manifest records of ships that have come and docked, materials that have been taken, and after that, I guess just try to get a core dump.
Oh, yes, sir.
If I can.
Control engineering difficulty opposed, as this computer does not want to give up this information freely.
Is it possible to assist?
With like a presence engineering role, but there's only one console.
Yeah, I mean presence or control. I mean, whatever it is to give him advice or what.
Presence engineering would work. As you kind of talk them through it and point out odd lines of codes.
Well, I assume I can use the focus of computer systems.
Absolutely.
I think I'll use one momentum for an extra dud.
Okay. Anything else?
I will use cautious engineering to re-roll that one dud.
Yep. Alright, and... Three hits versus your... 5. Gain 2 momentum. As there is a little bit of a security code clearance that you have to go through. But you managed to crack it. You now have access to the computer systems and the logs.
I'm in, Captain.
Let's go ahead and pull up some logs.
Aye, sir.
Uh, there's a short list of the visitors log. USS Radix visited 14 days ago. USS Mariposa 21 days ago. USS Lincoln 33 days ago, and the USS Vengeance 47 days ago.
The bottom name interests me.
Would you like to ask additional questions?
Does it, in the data, is there the actual, like, identifier codes of the ships? Can I match that to see if by USS Vengeance it means the ISS Vengeance? Like, are they trying to, are they tricking this machine into thinking they are the actual, I doubt there even is a USS Vengeance.
I think you're correct. That name does not make sense. It's for a Federation vessel.
Yeah, so I mean that means to me that that obviously the rest of those ships, I don't know if this is a momentum spin, but all of those ships are not actually those ships. Those are all, I know now that there are at least 4 mirror ships.
Possibly more.
Okay, do we know what class these 3 ships are?
Yes. The Radix is a Saber class, the Mariposa and the Lincoln and are Intrepids, and the Vengeance is an Akira. And you can easily cross-reference this with if your computer uplink into the Svalinn.
Would there be any sort of video record of the ships as they got into proximity of the station?
Not actual video, but there would be sensor records. So it's not like there's an actual video camera pointed outside recording, but there's the general, oh, here's the sensor log for this particular stardate.
I think I'm going to download everything I can get.
Alright. This is probably going to be an extended task.
Like, we have to figure out how, like, why. Like, I don't know if these are going to be just mere universe ships just pretending to be Federation ships when using these things. But either we could divert from our original plan to scout scout the Tholians and investigate these, or just continue our scout and then get answers when we return from base.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've kind of modified our original mission, and now we're information gathering on what's going on here. We're no longer on the full journey through Tholian space to just find points of curiosity. We're looking into this specific issue.
I mean, with this and finding a way to solve this, there's a chance for us to, you know, not have to deal with the Tholian War.
This is conjecture on my part, but what if all 4 of those records were from the same ship?
Mirror.
For a momentum, can we verify them as independent, or do they seem to have come? Is there spoofing here?
I'll take that for a momentum. From what you can and see, they do appear to register and look like 3 distinct vessels, or 4.
Any information on where they might be headed or what they might be doing?
No. Oh, this thing is deep underneath the clouds. It has no sensor range upwards of the upper atmosphere.
Does it not have any information where someone may have left a message for another ship that would be coming in soon? There's nothing like the captain of the Vengeance would have left logs for the captain of the Lincoln.
For momentum, I'll say there is some.
Yeah, one second. So, yeah, I'll do that.
All right. There is a little bit of data logs that seem to be from each individual ship, and the idea is this to be passed on to the next vessel. Surprisingly, they don't have any information regarding where our secret base is. Here's where we're rallying at. It's more of just more information on where the Tholians are. Here's a Tholian base. Here's a Tholian patrol all in this direction. Here's a critical Tholian in mining base, and they're collectively building up this map of Tholian forces. They already know where their forces are. They're trying to figure out where the Tholian forces are.
Is there any way to do an insight here to see if I could intercept one of these vessels headed somewhere? Any suggestions that oh, we spotted this is a possible Tholian base, we're gonna go check it out, kind of thing?
Yeah, insight. I would say that's insight command difficulty 3 because you're kind of working off of incomplete information.
Would you say, would you allow a focus and improvisation since I'm trying to piece together things?
Yep, I'll accept that.
The threat.
Improv is a good focus.
If I ever need to take up stage acting, I will definitely be set.
It's also good for I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna improv. All right. Okay, that was difficulty 3. You got difficulty 3. Indeed, there seems to be one key system that has been mentioned a lot. You think that the Mariposa and the Lincoln are headed there. Going to the fleet map. You guys are probably about here, and incidentally, they're going right here.
Move us to the fleet map too.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Fleet map. There we go. You guys are here. Hatfield is probably along parallel course. And surprisingly, they're circling about here. And they say that there is a major capital ship building site in that system.
Are they headed there, or are they already there?
They're flagging it as a place of interest. Whether that's interest of, hey, let's see what's going on, or that's interest in and let's blow it all sky high, you're not sure, but it's flagged.
Well,
and you do know that they're talking about a capital shipyard, so a large shipbuilding facilities there.
Since the question was if I thought they were going there, is it possible to create an advantage that I think there's a place I could intercept one of them before they got there? Like in open space from Tholians?
I will say you don't have any momentum, but you can do
Well, I have a way to get momentum if you say yes.
Yes, I will allow that advantage to exist.
Then I'll use the Starfleet Medal of Honor to create 2 bonus momentum off of the successful task.
You cheeky bugger. Yes.
That's also a suggestion for the upcoming task for you, Maddox, is to remember that.
Alright, let me flag a site here. Star Trek. Generic tokens. I guess this will be unfriendly. Oops. As right about there, the Mirror Universe icon on the map, you think would be a good place to intercept them.
Alright, that's all I had.
Okay. Cool. Now I'm gonna have to derail my own plans and make that adventure for you next week. GG. Oh, and that's the ship's. We're on the planet surface. And Maddox, you have a computer core to download. It does not want to be downloaded, so this might take a while. So, control engineering task. Starting off with difficulty 3. It's a magnitude 3 task. Resistance 2, work track of 18 to download the entire computer core from this thing.
Possible to assist him.
Yes.
Yeah, this might take a minute.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how good your rolls are, I think you could probably get it done in 2 attempts. It may take as long as 3, though.
I mean, there's no worry, no hurry. There's not like there's an alien creatures outside that could do damage, or Tholians out in orbit, or a mirror universe ship might show up. You know.
Yeah, I think if you hit it with determination right off the bat, you'll make a cakewalk of it.
Let's do that then.
Especially if you spin the Medal of Honor to get bonus momentum for like piercing and all that good.
All right. To which value would you be spending your determination?
Yeah, considering the potential threats outside, I'll go with specifications or guidelines when in a pinch.
All right, so you're kind of doing this a little bit, not necessarily messily, but a little off the books to try to get it done faster. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, you got +2 to hit. Control engineering roll. Captain is helping with presence engineering. And would you like to buy additional dice with momentum or threat? Threat's always an option.
Not on this one.
All right. Oof.
Bam.
Complication from the captain. Complication from the captain.
Not quite. Oh, I had that focus. I don't. Oh, so what actually happened is I rolled using Maddox's sheet and not my own. Hold on a second. So that was a 3. So I would have only gotten 1 success because I didn't have a focus.
Okay. So 5 on a diff 3. Got 2. And would you like to use your Medal of Honor to generate 2 bonus momentum to use for this task?
Yes.
All right. So you have 2 float essentially, and you're going to be rolling 7 challenge dice.
You should have 3 momentum.
Oh yeah.
He 5 momentum because he got 8 successes and difficulty 3.
You know, I wrote that down and then I forgot.
So then I did not have to use the Medal of Honor then.
No, it helps.
I mean, yeah. So like you get to use it once an episode, so you might as well use it. And like you didn't have to, but you know it's always good to make sure you use those kind of things.
I got you.
So 7 challenge dice. 6. That's 6 on the table right now. Resistance, that brings you down to 4.
All right, I'll burn 1 momentum to re-roll the 2.
All right.
And then probably 1 for piercing.
Yeah, let's burn 1 for piercing.
All right, so that gets rid of the resistance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 and is done off the work track. And new scene as we cut back to Talek, Archer, and Calder.
Everybody gets their stress back.
Everyone gets their stress back. As you guys are wandering down and closed as darkened in corridors, there's a thin frost everywhere. Gravity is still a bit weird in places, but you've managed to get used to that, and you're just kind of walking along in single file down these tiny hallways between the cargo containers. What would you like to do? You have the small palm lights or the lights from your or phasers is out in front of you, sweeping in the corridors.
Could we possibly find out what is in the cargo containers?
Absolutely. A reason science and it's difficulty 1.
Sensor imaging as a focus, since I'm assuming I'm using a tricorder.
Yep.
I will use a momentum.
Okay. All right. You gained the momentum back. So, actually, need to drop you down because of the scene change. The containers you were next to, right now, the one on the right has medical supplies. The one on the left has food rations, and one down below you, who has engineering ink repair supplies. So like spare duranium plating, spare warp coils, that kind of stuff. Nothing nefarious yet. Is there anything specific you would like to look for?
Anything I can carry.
These cargo containers are sealed. You would have to open one up to get at them. Would you like to open one up?
The one beneath us.
Okay. You have to take a ladder down, and to get there, you walk down and go to the one with the engineering supplies, and there is a command and console all there. On each individual cargo container, you walk up to it, type in the open code, and it pops, screeches, but the door only opens an inch.
Could I go down to where Archer is?
Yeah. Yep, you can get down there.
I'm gonna ask, well, what you doing? Say that again. You broke up.
Mike's hot, no one's home.
Let's say that one more time, Archer.
I figured that since we'll be in Tholian space for a while, we should take some supplies, if necessary, to repair the ship.
Okay.
But you both look at the door, and the a door appears to have been warped and is jammed somehow.
Well, looks like we have to throw in some elbow grease.
Good old-fashioned elbow grease. Fitness engineering, a difficulty 2. One can take the lead, the other can assist.
Would you say security because we're using pure strength?
No, this is a engineering thing, because it's a door that's broken.
What is your fitness engineering?
I have a 10.
Okay, so I'm leading because I have.
There's 4 momentum and an infinite amount of threat, if you want to buy extra dice.
I'll get an extra dice. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 2, and Archer can assist.
Oh, okay.
Would combat tactics work as a focus?
Talk me into it.
I'm just gonna do no focus. What? Okay, that I'll just roll 2 more. Okay, I got it open.
And you generate that momentum back. As with some leverage, using some of the physics classes you totally took at Starfleet Academy. Heave, ho, scream, boom, and the door opens. Big, loud, resounding screech echoes through out the assembly. In fact, the captain and Maddox hear that. And inside you see crates and crates and crates of supplies.
I'm gonna call down Maddox to get over here.
What's the situation? Ensign report.
And the mic failed again.
We were just opening one of the cargo containers, Captain.
What do you need the commander's assistance for?
Well, this door is kind of we tried putting in the command, but the door kind of just stopped halfway, so we had to use Balan to open it.
And the door is open. You can step through now.
I think it'll be a good idea to grab some extra stuff we would need. Could kind of top off.
Yeah, you have permission to take anything back to the shuttle we need. If we need to make extra trips, we can. But Commander Maddox is busy with the ship's computer.
I know. I was asking his assistants to pick out the stuff we would need to help fix the that hairline fracture on the sensor dish.
Yeah, I guess then can we make a quick list for the things for them to grab?
Maddox could pull away and make a list really quick, but it would cost us one turn of getting in the computer core, as he has to pause that and write down the list really quick. Or you could hail back to the Svalinn and then activate engineering NPC, and they can give you the list.
Okay, that's actually better.
All right, who would you like to activate?
Our only engineer.
Engineer left.
Yes. He never disappoints.
Excellent. Crew support goes down by I1, but you have left for the rest of the episode. Alright, and whoever takes engine and left can give me a reason engineering. There actually was a role to kind of repair breaches. Rocket design. Or am I thinking? Let's make this reason engineering difficulty 3. For Ensign left to come up with a list and forward it to you.
You okay?
And,
I will spend a momentum to get a third dice.
Alright.
Would troubleshooting work as a focus?
Yes. Oof. Do you have a reroll he could use?
We never gave him talents. We just gave him a +1 unless... Wait, how many times have we used them?
You're up to at least 3. Let's put him up to 4 activations.
Then... Would that give him a second ability or nah?
You have to add at the end of the episode.
Ah, okay.
So.
So let's spend 2 momentum to squash that.
Alright. He starts giving you a list, but he's kind of going too fast for you, and there's some parts that you miss, and you're not quite sure or if you found everything yet.
Well, this is a plan B. It's just wait for Maddox to finish up and then look through.
Maddox could attempt a roll at a later time. Speaking of which, Maddox, we're now looking at a control engineering difficulty 2 task to continue downloading this computer.
I think I will. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the momentum's gone.
Yeah, we changed scenes back to Maddox.
This may be this may be a good time to use the Medal of Honor then, right?
You already used it last turn, didn't you?
The difficulty has gone down to 2 though.
Yeah, difficulty's only 2,
Okay, never mind.
and the captain can still assist you. And there's your 2. 7 challenge dice. Good time for all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -2. Alright, you got 13 out of 18 work. And one more breakthrough. As Dr. Bog, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. So, what we found is we followed the Tholians to a planetary system, and we found some weird stuff in the gas giant of that system. That appears to be a Federation supply eye drop that has some unusual computer entries. It seems that this was spoofed somehow. But you have been busy in the sick bay, as at first you got 3 crew members that have reported stomach issues, and now throughout the episode you're upwards of 12 people showing acute symptoms, and they're all the same.
All the stomach, huh?
All the stomach, nausea, general malaise, and weakness, as some are reporting in vision bright spots. If you would like, give me a reason, medicine, and difficulty E2 to diagnose them.
Alright. Get my character sheet open here. Alright. Reason, medicine. 2. Will my infectious disease be a good focus here?
At increased complication.
Okay. What about biology or xenobiology? Either of those straight up focus?
Xenobiology, yes.
Okay.
So straight up on that.
Okay. Are we okay with momentum right now, where I can spend one?
We're actually out of momentum, but I will always take a threat.
I know you would.
I mean, the positive, because you have bold. If you spend threat to get a dice, get to re-roll.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend a threat.
Alright, 1 threat.
Okay. Here we go.
Alright, gained 1 momentum as it appears when we came into the system, we were cloaked. Therefore, our shields were down. This appears to be a acute radiation sickness. Luckily, you caught it in time, and Federation has magical medicine, and that they can give and counteract the effects of acute radiation poisoning.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. I'll begin dosing my sick folks and also inoculating the rest of the crew against this as well, so that they do not become sick.
Our best guess is it probably has to do something with stellar radiation.
It's interesting that that's getting through our shields. I mean,
I'll want to check into that once I get the crew settled. I'll be wanting to check into that a little more and try to figure out why our normal shielding isn't dealing with that.
Do we have shields off because cloak?
Yeah, before you had shields off because of cloak. That would have caused it. But now that you're inside this gas giant, you're within the magnetosphere, and you have your shields up. So, but an inoculation would not be a bad idea, just in case.
Yeah, I should be able to give them something to resist it, and make them resistant to that at this point. But I guess I'm still concerned because even when we're just traveling normal, don't we have like a deflector? Isn't there a deflector shielding that protects from radiations? Not normal like against weapon damage, but doesn't the ship project just a? Or am I getting my Star Trek mixed up with something else there?
Nope, that is the thing. The deflector shields do protect against some radiation, and especially of the like standard or cosmic variety. And also the hull plating itself has some attenuating factors in it. I mean, the hull plating is like 3 meters thick, so that stops some radiation.
Okay, so I would want to try to. One of the things I'd be put my team on is trying to figure out what the source of this is that it's getting through that regular shielding and bothering us. Uh,
Okay. To inoculate the crew, presence medicine and difficulty 2, and you can just have that at benefit.
okay.
And we could say this was retroactive, and you can get the away team as well, because there is an away team at this point.
Okay. Man, I like that roll.
That actually worked really well for you. Alright, so we have an advantage.
Can we? Would we need to do an engineering roll or science roll to figure out why it's going to the shields?
That would be a science and roll, but Tolek's with you, so you would have to activate someone who's actually on the ship if they wanted to look into that.
Would you be down with bringing up Patterson? Of the fellow party members?
I'm okay with that. I mean, if you're asking me, but
Wait, I want to see if there's also what focus would you think base would work for this?
well, he kind of threw me when he said that the xenobiology over infectious, or the xenobiology over, yeah, the infectious part. But
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, radiation poisoning isn't exactly infectious.
Okay,
True.
I'm going to.
Probably be more like biology.
Oh, I got it. We're gonna bring Carval in because he has a focus that might help.
Okay,
Radiobiology.
that would definitely work.
And what would the goal be?
Reason, science, or medicine, and difficulty 3.
And can I assist with that in any way?
I think you do a base.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'll allow an assist.
Okay, is it presence medicine still, or?
This is looking over data, so be reason medicine.
What's the attribute again? Reason?
Reason.
I'm even better at that.
Alright, gain a momentum. This appears to be this radiation appears to be a unique form of radiation, and your normal types of radiation are alpha, which can be stopped by a tissue paper and is basically stripped down on helium nucleus. Beta, which is just a high-speed electron and can be stopped by tinfoil. And gamma, which is a high-energy photon in the gamma ray range, and that one you need an entire ship hull to stop it fully. This is not in any of those categories. This appears to be a strange quark radiation.
Based on what we found, can we attenuate our deflector shield to block it?
In theory, you would need a Maddox to pull that off. None of the crew on board feel comfortable doing that level of modifications to the shields.
Okay.
But Maddox is almost done here.
But I can definitely inoculate people to kind of at least get them not get any sicker.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay,
you have inoculations. You have shields up. You have shields up, and you have the magnetosphere of this Jupiter class planet, which is helping to spread any radiation out from you.
Okay, fantastic.
Can we spend some momentum to have some form of advantage for engineering to, well, for left leaf to counteract this bleed effect?
You can spend 2 momentum, and he could get it started on modifications, but he needs the chief engineer there to make this work.
So the equivalent of a advantage.
The equivalent of advantage in that at the modification roll will have a head start.
What do you? Does everyone think that this is a good idea?
So in essence, and you can use this instead of because it's probably going to be an extended task, as to flip the shields over instead of difficulty 3, it'd be difficulty 2, magnitude 2.
Right now our shields are protecting us, so we're probably okay. I think we can wait until Maddox is here.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Maybe save the momentum for something that is more of a threat.
We're going to be leaving as soon as we're done with this, so I don't even know that we'll need to worry about it.
Yeah. Unless it follows us.
Oh, that's what you think.
I don't think the planet is going to follow us.
Ah, okay.
I mean, you may have lingering effects to deal with for the time we already spent in here, but I highly doubt that GM has enough threat to make the planet have warp engines.
Well, he didn't until I gave him that one. Now we're in trouble, right?
As you're monitoring this, suddenly the radiation alarms start going off.
Oh man.
Really, really, really intense ones. As you actually don't know what's going on because you're within the planet's and its atmosphere. But suddenly radiation levels spike. So everyone on the away team has to make a difficulty 3 fitness medicine check.
Oh.
And that's with the attenuation of the inoculation and the planet's atmosphere. This is rough stuff.
Wait, what's the roll?
Fitness medicine difficulty 3. And that is already brought down by advantages.
Holy Toledo.
Focus and endurance.
Yep.
Take momentum.
All right. All right. Everyone else on the away team. Maddox, Calder, Archer.
Fitness medicine?
Yep.
I think I'm going to use one momentum.
All right.
I'll spend a threat.
Calder makes it.
I'll use the momentum
Wait,
and
wait.
threat.
I accidentally did, that would actually just be 2 successes because,
Oh, your medicine score. Yep.
yeah. Does 2 successes make it?
Nope. It's difficulty 3.
Ah,
Nice
And
knowing you, bro.
and Archer, you're doing 1 momentum, 2 threat.
Correct.
All right. Ouch.
we're having a bad day.
Yeah, that's a bad day. Oh my god. 7 damage as suddenly there's you see bright lights in your eyes, your mouth gets dry, your joints ache on you as you just got an intense burst of radiation. This is a non-lethal injury at the moment.
On the bright side, this is how the X-Men started.
This is more Fantastic Four, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so that happened, and roll is resolved. And everyone has at least 1 injury and 7 damage, unless there's something you can do about it.
Now, the people on the ship didn't have to roll, right?
I mean, if so, we're shielded just like they are. So if shields isn't working, then that's probably gonna hit them too.
Yes, it would, but they have proper shields up, so it'll be. I'm not sure how to roll over the entire crew though.
What's the?
You know what? Let's have the ship roll like structure medicine, I guess. Yeah, makes sense. Structure medicine difficulty 2.
That's for the ship to roll?
Yeah, just to see how the entire ship deals with the radiation and if any of the crews hit.
I forgot. What are the negatives for? Let's see. Of mind injury.
First injury is non-lethal. If you get another injury, then it becomes lethal, and you have to have that taken care of before the scene ends, or you die. there might be a specific things that I could make more difficult, but I'm not doing that right now.
I don't know. So the thing about it becoming lethal is when you have a non-lethal injury and you go unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I would double check the book real quick to see what happens when you get a second injury, because I don't know that it's defaultly lethal.
Okay.
Also, if you would accept momentum to avoid the injury, then we could all just avoid the injury. I mean, threat.
Yeah, I'll accept threat to avoid. Yeah, 2 threat for each of you to avoid the injury.
He said momentum.
We don't have momentum. Yeah, I'll accept threat spends for momentum. Threat spends to avoid injuries.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Alright, would anyone else want to spend 2 threat to avoid an injury at this time?
Giving you threat would make it worse.
You don't know that.
So everyone has a minor injury.
Yeah, you all have a minor injury.
How's the injury going to affect what I'm doing?
It won't yet. It might cause issues right down the road, but as of now, your vision went blurry for a second, and your mouth is extraordinarily dry, but you can keep working.
Yeah, the doctor will be able to take care of us.
So you're alive, you're conscious, you still have all your fingers and toes, and you don't have any extra fingers or toes. You can keep working.
Would we know how long between the first and last pulse?
You don't know, and you're not in a position to know because, hey, your sensors only extend so far, because you're in the middle of a planet. You simply do not have enough information to realize what's going on right now.
I didn't realize this episode was called Chernobyl.
No, the episode's called Wash the Spider Out. We're just washing them with radiation. Alright, so that happens. And Maddox, you have one turn left to finish downloading this information, or you can run to the shuttle really quickly.
I want to finish what I've started.
Very well. Control engineering difficulty 1. Captain, are you staying with him, or are you making a run for the shuttle?
No, I'm gonna help him.
All right. Calder and Archer. That just happened. What are you gonna do? You can spend a round finishing getting up the engineering supplies as you wanted, or you can drop everything and run back to the shuttle.
I think with me and what do you think, Archer?
I was gonna say take what we got and run to the shuttle.
Fine.
All right. At the top of the round, both of you can be at the shuttle. All right. Maddox and the captain and crack the final code 7 challenge dice, and we'll finish this off.
Thank God you gotta get a momentum.
Yeah, I think I'll re-roll those 4 for 1 momentum.
Re-rolling. Four, 5. It's not quite making it. There's still a little bit left. You're at 16 out of 18 work. But no, because you didn't make a breakthrough. So
Yeah, will you let it spend 2 threat for 2 work for piercing?
yeah, I will allow that.
Yeah, then spend 1 threat and we'll finish the task.
1 threat as you kind of very, very riskily rip the data out, and at this point you actually dive underneath the console, and you unscrew the actual memory storage device. Yeah, at this point you're like, no, we don't have time to download to USB. Just pull the hard drive. As you have the information, I suppose now you're running back to the shuttle.
Should we also tell the ship to move and have both ships meet at the same point while fleeing?
Yeah, one of you could call ahead presence command and have the ship rendezvous with the sojourner, and you can use that as an advantage to dock with the ship. Would anyone like to make that roll?
Say the roll again.
Presence command difficulty 2.
What?
Presence command difficulty 2 to call ahead to the ship to have it be in position and to pick you up.
I'll give you a assist.
Why are they out of position? Why did they move?
They're not out of position, and it'll just us move into a more advantageous position. So turn around so the shuttle bay is facing you. It'll get really close.
I had more of the mindset of us, the ship on like that, and then we would just try to get into the shuttle bay.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we need to make it complicated though. Like the shuttle's shields should be fine. So, and the Svalinn is right by the station, so we should just be able to take the shuttle to the Svalinn without any issue.
In theory.
I don't know that there are any complications that have arisen that would make that a bad idea.
Nope, not yet.
And we don't have any momentum, so rolls are kind of risky at this point.
Even with me assisting?
I mean, what is going to the Svalinn? What is getting the Svalinn to like? What does that advantage do for us, mechanically?
It's up to you, but it could make things easier, or if you have a rendezvous point, or you could just pop out and dock like the captain said.
Yeah, I don't really think we have a mechanical advantage right now to doing that, so I just maybe take the shuttle and go.
All right, you get into the shuttle. Oh, Archer, starts it up, gets outside, and the space around the Svalinn and is just there's a dozen and jellyfish about, as they seem to like you, or maybe don't like you. It's kind of hard to tell. They don't have faces. And this is really a weird setup. One of them tries to slap you. And hey, that actually hits. Scale plus.
Why did you give something in space knockdown?
Just in case.
I don't think that works. That's not an effect you can have in space. You can't put a shuttle prone.
I could knock it off course. Yeah, as a tentacle slaps your shuttle as you bridge the space between the supply depot and the Svalinn in Shuttle Bay, and you get knocked for one shield.
We have a resistance of 1.
Then, oh, that is a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing happens, and as it bops you, and nothing happens. But all right, so you guys are on board. Shields are up. Everything's okay. Radiation alarms are still high. And Dr. Bog, our professional opinion is we have to get someplace safer than this.
Okay, nothing we can do to really make this where we can stick around, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay. Captain, I recommend we clear this area right away.
Yeah, yes, Doctor, I'm in the process of getting back to the Svalinn to take us out of here.
Yep, you just docked, you're on board. Alright, so you're making your way to the bridge. As everyone takes up their stations.
Before we leave, I want to interact with the station computer one more time.
Okay. To what effect?
I'm going to leave a repeating audio message on it.
Okay. Control engineering difficulty E1, maybe difficulty 0. What's the message?
Is it 1 or 0?
No, I'll just let you have it. This seems like a standard function.
It's gonna say, Terrans, this is Captain of the USS Svalinn. I suggest you head back to your own universe, as I am hunting you, and you do not have long to spend in ours if you wish to remain intact. And then I'll close it out.
Okay. The captain leaves a threatening letter on the door. And with the two threat I spent earlier, you are getting some indications of movement right about here, but it doesn't look like jellyfish.
Did we get all the supplies we need?
Yes, you have the supplies you need. You can and effect repairs on your sensor array. That would take a couple hours to do though.
Okay, then the very last thing I want to do is I want to order the station to evacuate all supplies on a course that would eventually have them pulled by gravity down into the crush depth.
Oh, nice. It's actually not designed to do that, so. Daring Engineering, difficulty 3, assisted by Computers Engineering.
This sounds like a task for you, Commander Maddox.
I mean, we could also.
Yes, sir.
Elder.
Yes, Commander.
Would would fire would torpedo fire be noticed in this biome?
Well, we want them to find this station and know that we're hunting them.
Yeah, he wants to leave the station and the radio intact. He just wants to flush the supplies to be tactical.
Maybe drop a Federation comm badge to say, yeah, we know.
Well, yeah, I've done a little bit more than that.
Yeah, the captain basically wrote a note in blood and stabbed it to the door with a giant Bowie knife.
I wanted to, if we weren't going to be all killed by radiation, I really wanted to let Commander Calder draw, like, on this, use the phasers to draw, like, to etch on the hull of the station, like a since we're the Svalinn, like a Viking hammer breaking the Terran sword.
I mean, you could just, before leaving, just place your comm badge just on the console.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I've left the message that says who I am.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But if the GM let you, if you wanna do some etch a sketching on the surface while Maddox is busy, you could do that.
Can I?
You know what? That sounds hilarious. I kind of want this to happen. Alright, so Daring Engineering, difficulty 3 to flush, and then...
I'm not gonna have a focus for that, am I?
Computers. You're kind of hacking the computer and telling it to flush.
Alright.
Just make sure you don't accidentally hack the lid on the station. Because for some reason that was specifically called out that there was one there.
I'm gonna give you one threat for an extra dime.
Alright. Oof, as you just crush it. And eventually it will be crushed. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 out of 3. 5 momentum generated. As suddenly all the supplies starts tumbling out and gets whisked away by the wind, and there's an explosion over here as something hits something.
Yeah, better hurry up, Calder. We don't have a whole lot of time.
Yep.
What do I roll the etch a sketch?
For the etcher says control security difficulty 3. Difficulty 2 just to hit, and then difficulty increased difficulty to draw a symbol on the station.
I'm gonna spend a threat.
You also have 5 momentum.
I'm still going to, well, no, spend a momentum. That's what I meant.
Oh, spend a momentum instead. All right.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, I'll use my value to reroll.
Which...
First one in, last one out.
Okay, I guess. Yes, I'll allow it. Go ahead and reroll.
Yes.
As you draw a Norse hammer breaking the Terran seal across the edge of this display, as just on the edge of our sensor range. I need one of these, some of these, and hey, you've seen these ships before.
We've been had.
If we can get out of here fast enough, there's maybe a chance that they just think, and probably they do think we're Terran. So.
It's probably what they think every Federation ship is at this point. So
Yeah, let's run.
Well,
now would be the time for running.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay. Yeah, let's run, but we still need to set the call go to be on the second we get out of here.
Yeah, we'll warp out, and after we're out, we'll take the shields down, turn the cloak on, change course rapidly a couple of times, and then move on.
Yep.
Alright, so what's the order? We are in combat at... In fact, if we're in combat, they're gonna take a pot shot at you.
You know what? I'm going to use my quick to action to take initiative.
I think you have to wait till they shoot.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Hey! I actually get a shot off. And... One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, that's vicious. 2, 4, 6, 7,
That's
8.
Reduced by 4, that still only 4 damage.
Yep, so 4 damage to your shield as this lead vessel lances out with disruptor banks. Now it's your turn. And I need the rest of the players on the table. Alright, who wants to go?
Either you or Archer.
Oh, we're in combat. That means direct is something I can do. I'm gonna direct Archer to go to warp.
Can't go to warp inside the gas giant. You would have to impulse out.
I didn't know there was something that.
So pedal to the metal, Archer.
You go to warp in like the atmosphere of an M class.
Not in this. Yeah, not in this situation. Warp drive's operative at this point.
It is not recommended.
So is impulse gonna get us into a warp capable position, or are we gonna need to impulse like 3 or 4 times?
Can we cloak? So at least
No.
we're not a target?
Not we'd have to take the shields down, and that would.
Oh, that's
That
bad.
would cause bad things. Yeah. You have to impulse twice.
Okay. Well, we'll start off by doing it once. Essentially, Archer, what we're gonna do is I'm going to direct you twice for the impulse rolls, and then we're going to spend, so that'll take 2 momentum. So we can't spend any momentum. But I'm going to get you to where you can warp on my turn. Then we're going to quick do action, and you're going to get us out of here with warp. So it's we should be able to get out of here before they take another turn if we get good rolls. So I will start off by directing Archer to impulse.
All right. That will cost 1 power, and Daring Con on difficulty 3. Brought down to difficulty 2 because Archer is awesome. And it's used to flying in the soup.
We're going to save Christopher Pike for next go around because the difficulty is going to increase by 1.
All right, Archer, you have the ball. 4 momentum on the table, infinite amount of threat.
So can I use momentum?
Yes.
So, not if we want this to succeed. We need to have 4 momentum for us to not have to get into a fight here. So if you make momentum off of this roll, then feel free to use that. But we need 2 momentum for me to keep the initiative, and 2 Oh wait, quick to action is free. That's the whole.
Because Calder.
So yeah, so you can, as long as you leave us with 2 momentum, you're fine.
I'll spend 1 momentum.
All right. Any threat?
No, I don't think so.
Please.
That gets us 1 back.
All right.
Gets us 3 back.
3 momentum generated. And are you just gonna like shoot straight up and blow past them?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I want to avoid them, but I also want to get out of here in 2 turns. So whatever that.
Okay,
like,
so shortest path to out of here. Got it. All right, that is 1 turn. And Calder keeps the action.
No, I spend 2 to do a swift task, and I direct Archer again.
All right.
I do use the Pike Medal of Valor to make my assistant auto.
All right. So Daring Con difficulty 3, and you have a +2 from the captain.
I'll spend another momentum.
Okay. As for difficulty 3, and we have
So
Yeah, momentum, he gets a threat. And we get what? We
2
get
momentum. Because that was a difficulty 3. And
then
you lose
we get
1 more power. And you're...
We gain 1 moment. You gain 1 threat off of the untapped potential.
Yep, I got that. As... Hey, the radiation alarms get worse.
Now we quick to action. And now Archer, you're on your own.
Dr. Bog, give me Insight Medicine difficulty 2 real quick. This will not count as your turn.
Insight, medicine. Okay. Will my focus here at all work of biology or anything?
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Okay. All right. Is
Hey.
it difficulty of 2?
Yes.
Okay. I think I had to spend a threat to use my bold medicine, didn't I?
Yep.
Do we have a momentum to? Is there something where I can use the momentum to reroll the 1-0, or I can't remember how that works.
That's only if you have cautious, and you have to do that ahead of time.
Okay.
I will allow you to do this. I'll allow you to get the insight again, but it'll be difficulty 3 this time.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and spend a momentum. And is this something that the ship's sensors could be helping me with?
Actually, yes. This would be effective. So. Okay, insight medicine on your part, sensor science on your part. You can roll 3 dice with a focus.
Okay, what's the ship's sensor?
Sensor and science.
Okay.
And it always rolls 1 dice and always has a focus.
Okay. Okay. And mine's insight medicine. There we go.
There we go. Do. So, 2 momentum and generated. As you're climbing up in the atmosphere, or you're watching the rad count, and the rad count gets worse the higher you get, implying that the radiation is not coming from the planet, it's coming from outside the planet. And a quick look outside on the sensor array, this entire star system is just bathed in strange quark radiation as the star is violently convulsing and throwing out radiation. This entire star system is blanketed with the stuff.
Is there?
Captain, there's something going on with the system's star. It's throwing off radiation in waves, and this is getting worse. As far as GM, my estimations, are we going to be able to clear the atmosphere where we can warp out and still not have any super adverse effects to the crew?
No, because of the nature of the radiation being strange quark, or it is interfering with the warp nacelles.
Captain, I don't think we're going to be able to warp out due to this radiation type either.
Do we at least know how far we have to declare to?
Well, no. Like, so if we can't go to warp, we're dead. Like, we have to figure out a way to go to warp because impulse, like, it still takes to get from Earth to outside of our solar system still takes you going warp speeds. You can't impulse out of a system.
You can. It just takes hours.
It takes days. It takes an hour to get from Earth to Jupiter at a decent warp.
Mm-hmm.
So going higher than warp 2 or 3. So figuring out how to I don't know, purge the engines or do something that allows us to go to warp is really our only option.
Is there any way that I can use some of my knowledge of this radiation to give an assist to the engineer in developing a way of maybe buffering the engine against the problem?
Or modifying our warp bubble?
That would have to be a something that the engineer would have to come up with.
Maddox?
Maddox had to leave for the evening, but
I have a decent engineering and a focus in this, so you can assist me. Yeah, GM, I'm gonna try to, I guess. Well, first we need to get out of this atmosphere, so we need to not waste turns trying to solve the problem while we're here. We need to get out of the planet first.
Well, Maddox isn't doing any of the things, so he can at least set up the him and Leaf can do the warp bubble fixture.
We need to get Archer needs to get us. Oh wait, no, we already did the 2 rolls. We're already outside the planet.
You're already outside out of the atmosphere. You're just facing an ungodly amount of radiation, and it's interfering with your warp bubble.
Yeah, so like, what's the roll there to
Purge the
modify?
nacelles.
Yeah. Well, I can't go anyways. I already went, so it has to be someone else.
You could sacrifice a player turn and puppet Maddox doing this. Or Leaf. Daring Engineering, difficulty 5, complication 5, as this is a class 5 radiation storm.
Scale of 1 to scream to panic. How bad is 5?
You would have to it would dump a lot of resources as to try to hit it, but you do have 6 momentum.
I mean, is this kind of thing indicative of like a supernova or what? Because
This is just shy of a supernova.
someone's playing with the star.
Yeah,
Not in a good way.
yeah.
Yeah, because
There were shenanigans going on with the star. The star you saw before was Class M. It should not be doing this.
Yeah.
Something went pear-shaped inside that star.
Is it possible to do a slingshot maneuver?
Well, we don't want to get close to the star.
Yeah, how many
Also-
fingers do you want to end up with?
The slingshot maneuver is really just to go back in time. Like, it's not. We don't want to do that. Because you do that, and now you've got people from other hunting you down to send you back where you belong. Like, they would rather us die here in the radiation than go back 5 minutes to not die in radiation. Yeah, I think Maddox is gonna spend 6 for 5. With warp propulsion systems as a focus.
Absolutely. All the momentum's gone. Maddox is taking the lead. And he can have one person and assisting him.
Count as determining the source of the technical problem.
Yes.
Oh, then I didn't need to buy one of those D20s because he already gets one for free, so that was only 3 momentum.
Okay.
We'll pay for these. I mean, we'll activate someone if we come up short for the assist. I don't think.
I believe we are actually already have Arato left activated.
Yep, you have left F activated.
Oh, well then don't roll him until Maddox goes, because he could get a complication and we may not need him.
Oh, complications be fun.
I don't think we need him.
As in a stroke of genius, as you the radiation is building up, the heat is actually emanating through the hall, sweat is dripping down all your faces as you're white knuckling in the armchair. Come on, let's get out of here. Maddox is flying across the engineering room, checking this, rerouting in this. He pulls a console apart and hot wires. There's the console. Oh, suddenly, green lights appear across your board, Archer. You have warp drive. And at that, where'd it go? You guys managed to rocket out of the our system at warp 9. You are booking it, and you clear the radiation field within 5 minutes. Looking back at the star system, the star is heaving and convulsing, and prominences billions of kilometers wide are arcing across its surface as there's this strange green glow across it. And the the 3 Tholian signatures you saw before are nestled tight within the atmosphere, are huddling to wait out the storm. And with all the information you gained and a little bit of graffiti left behind, we will end the episode.